Hey, BetterSax players, Jay Metcalf here with another mouthpiece battle. Today we're going to be comparing this Florida Supertone Master mouthpiece by the J.J. Babbitt Company. This is the 100-year anniversary edition of this mouthpiece. It's just come out brand new for 2019. I'm going to be comparing it to this standard off-the-shelf Supertone Master mouthpiece that I bought about 15 years ago. Both of these mouthpieces are 7-star tip openings. Now, I'm not going to be comparing the 100-year anniversary Florida mouthpiece to a vintage Florida Otto Link mouthpiece, mainly because I don't have one and because the prices would be wildly different. This mouthpiece sells for $259. It's quite difficult to get your hands on one right now, though, because they're back ordered. This mouthpiece sells for around $219, so they're very comparable in price. First, I'm going to do a blind test where I'll play the same exact thing on both mouthpieces back and forth, and then you get to vote in the on-screen poll for the sound you like the best. After that, we're going to look more closely and in detail to these two mouthpieces, and then I'll play each one of them for a minute or so more freely so you can hear what I sound like, at least, using the same reed and ligature setup, and listen out for the differences between these two mouthpieces. For those of you who don't know, the Otto Link Supertone Master mouthpiece is a classic mouthpiece that has been played on by some of the greatest saxophone players for the last 60 plus years. It's gone through several different iterations throughout its history, but the ones we call Florida Links are highly sought after and fetch very high prices. So you can imagine there have been many attempts to recreate or emulate this same sound and the same characteristics of this classic mouthpiece. Now I'm going to play the same phrase back to back on both mouthpieces. Listen carefully, and at the end, vote for the sound you preferred. Go ahead and comment below with your choice and how you perceive the sound to be different. Okay, now go ahead and vote. Don't forget to comment below with your thoughts. Now let's take a look at both of these mouthpieces. I have a little confession to make. This standard Supertone Master Otto Link mouthpiece is not exactly how it comes out of the box. I actually had some corrective work done to it a couple years ago. But this is a good opportunity for me to show you guys exactly the sort of thing that gets done when you have some corrective refacing work done to a mouthpiece like this. On this one, it's really easy to see where the adjustments have been made since the plating has been removed in those spots. First, you can see that the facing curve has been evened out. One rail had to be filed down more than the other, as you can see from the different size marks. Next, we see that the table has also been filed down quite a bit to get it flat, which is very important for making a proper seal with your reeds. I can also see that there has been a small amount of adjustment work done on the inside of one of the rails. And finally, you can see that the baffle has been adjusted as well. These mouthpieces are brass that gets plated first with silver and then with gold. So here you can see the three metals and get an idea of the work that's been done. More material has been removed from the area nearest to the tip where the bare brass is now exposed. Then we see an area of silver plate, and then we're back to the gold plating. The standard Supertone Master mouthpiece does come with a ligature and cap, but I do not like the ligatures because the plate that holds the reed in place never goes straight when you tighten it up, and the whole thing kind of feels crooked. Some other ligatures that work well with this are the Selmer 404 metal silver ligature that I've got right here. Also, there's the BG Revelation ligature, which works very nicely, and the Van Doren Optimum, which I'm going to be using in this play test you're about to see. Now, taking a look at the 100-year anniversary Florida Supertone Master, you can see that all the gold plating is intact and no work has been done. This is how it comes straight out of the box. It bears a lot of resemblance to the stock Link. Here are the things I notice that are different. First of all, it's slightly longer by a few millimeters. And also, the bite plate is not straight. It's not a big deal, but interesting. I wonder if that's done on purpose or not. It has a very tight fit on my neck cork. Easily the tightest fit of any tenor mouthpiece I own. And finally, I can't tell by looking at it, but my reeds tell me that the table is not flat. It's close enough to get away with, but sometimes when playing, I can feel there is not an optimal seal. I'm actually going to send this mouthpiece off to Phil Engelman, who refaced my other Supertone Master. I am curious to see how it's going to play when it's had some of these corrections made and when I can get a really good seal with my reeds on the table. In my personal experience, these mouthpieces by J.J. Babbitt can usually do with a little bit of finishing work to get them playing their best. This is going to cost you another $100 to $200, let's say, by a good mouthpiece refacer. This is part of the trade-off in the price. Mouthpieces that have a lot more detailed handwork done to them are always going to cost significantly more than these sort of off-the-rack, let's say, mouthpieces. This mouthpiece also comes with a ligature and cap. It's the classic ligature that the Supertone Master standard version comes with, and again, I don't use them for the same reasons. So have a listen to me playing the 100-year anniversary Florida Otto Link Supertone Master by J.J. Babbitt. Feel free to comment below with your thoughts and observations after listening to me play on both of these. For me, I feel like these two pieces are quite different. The standard Supertone Master for me has a more spread sound, which to me means the sound feels like it fans out as it leaves the saxophone and it leaves my body. Whereas the new 100-year Florida version has a slightly more focused sound, which means to me that it feels like the sound is going in a more singular and concentrated direction. This is something that I feel is much more noticeable to the player than the audience. However, some players are going to prefer a more spread feel, while others will prefer a more focused feel. Both pieces have a bit of graininess or buzz or edge, if you will, in the sound, which is something I like in a tenor saxophone sound personally. As far as the response goes, for me, the low notes come out easily enough, but you do have to push a little bit more as you get, let's say, below an E on the saxophone. The high notes, the very high notes, the altissimo, again, they do come out, but you've got to be a bit careful with your voicing. If you're not, you risk missing some of those notes. Both of these mouthpieces play well enough in tune for me, but because of the extremely tight fit of the new 100-year anniversary piece, it's kind of hard to make the micro adjustments and push the mouthpiece as far down on the neck cork as I normally would. These metal Otto Link mouthpieces, especially for the tenor saxophone, are a standard classic point of comparison, and it's good to be familiar with them since so many other mouthpieces being made today are inspired by this classic design. Granted, these two particular mouthpieces are not the same as the vintage ones being made entirely by hand back in the 50s and 60s, but we could say they're in the same family. I put the answer to the blind test in the description below, along with links where you can find out more information and purchase either one of these mouthpieces. As I said earlier, the 100-year anniversary mouthpiece is tough to get your hands on. It's back ordered at the moment. These ones, I'm pretty sure, are pretty easy to find at any time. Also, if you would like to contact Phil Engelman about getting some refacing work done, I've put a link to his website in the description below as well. He does fantastic refacing work. He's done several mouthpieces for me, and they've all come back playing significantly better. If you found this video to be informative and helpful, please go ahead and click the thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed here on YouTube, get yourself subscribed and click the bell icon to get notified when I upload new videos like this every single week. Be sure to follow BetterSax on Instagram and Facebook, where I'm sharing bonus content on a daily basis. Thank you for watching, and see you again very soon in another BetterSax video.